It's quite dark. I don't have any more lights.
No problem. But you look bright.
Oh, thank you. You too. So how are you? Everything good?
Yeah, everything is good. I'm waiting for our chat from the morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's quite late. It's quite late. I hope it's okay.
It's
It's
3 a.m. here.
it's 3 a.m. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's early actually. Late energy. Oh shoot. Is it okay for the call?
Yeah, it's okay. I was talking with my girl right now in the mobile. So I said, give me some time. I'll complete the interview. She said, yeah, you have to do it. You have to make it good. So then we'll talk. So I said, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for making time. Thank you.
But actually, I should thank you for, accepting my invitation and accepting to talk with me.
Oh, of course, of course. I appreciated you reaching out. As I said, it's always lovely to meet new people and from all over the world. It's great. So,
So I thought to introduce you to my audience.
okay, well, my name is Davene Le Grange, and I'm the author of two books, Arc City Stories by our lead writer is Todd Sinani, and we published with Black Dog. And
Okay,
there's a bunch of other really cool writers on the book,
okay,
and then self-published the Cyberpunk, which is a
okay,
book. So that's me.
okay. Arc City.
Yes, Arc City Stories.
Before
So
talking about that, can you tell
sure.
me where are you from?
Oh, sure. I was born in South Africa.
You
So
born in South Africa? You live in?
okay, that's the whole thing. I was born in South Africa. I'm a Belgian citizen, but I live on the East Coast in the U.S. So,
Okay, so you're connected to 3 countries.
and my husband's Indian, so four.
Four, okay. Your husband is Indian.
All over there. That's cool.
So, when did you start writing? What made you to become a writer? And you're a professional writer and full-time writer.
Yes, I do full-time writing, and I'm trying to be a full-on professional writer and author. And so what started it was back in 2016. So I always used to write poetry or maybe little stories here, but never to publish. I never thought, oh, I'll become a writer. Maybe later, much later on in life. But then it just happened one day. My husband and I were watching the movie The Arrival
Okay.
directed by Dennis Villeneuve. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. And it was just, my husband was watching and he's like, oh, you should write a story about where just for once we're attacking the aliens, not the aliens are coming to us all the time. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
fine. So I
Nice.
wrote, yeah. So I just started writing and then meeting people and just got into a bunch of different projects. And I've been
Okay.
working ever since.
So you decided to fight with your union called Humans with Aliens through your book. In your book.
Yes, it's a sci-fi fantasy that I'm still working on. It's a massive project, but it's supposed to be a series of 7 books in the end, eventually. And it's basically you follow almost like a journal of a captain in Etheria. The planet's called Etheria. It's basically Earth. So in the army, but it's from billions and billions not billions, but a billion years from now, and then this captain he's being sent to war, a little bit trying to get allies to fight against this enemy planet, and then all these different adventures that he has on the way with his crew.
So Arc City is about?
Arc City Stories is a bunch of different cyberpunk stories that happen in this place in the city called Arc, and each one is quite different and quite unique. By J.L. Arn, Patrick Tillett, Tracy Cross, Amber Benbow, Avis Lurie, and Max McCamish, and Todd Sanani. And as I said, Todd Sanani, he led the team, and he came up with this brilliant idea of this cyberpunk city. And we all just had to write about a character in this city. So someone living in the city, what their life is like, what are they facing, what challenges are they facing, and in a little bit of this dystopian dark world. And we all did, and it really connected in the end, all the stories. It really flows quite well, so it's great. It was a fun project. It's something different. I'd never done cyberpunk in my life before, so I had no idea what I was doing, so it was quite a challenge. I had to learn a lot on the go. That's good.
How much time you took to write this book?
To write it's a bunch of short stories, so it didn't take too long to write, but I think altogether it took the team from start to finish about a year. We managed, so which is quite quick. So it was a good time.
What was the second book?
The second book is a poetry book, the Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Okay.
The Cyberpunk Ready to Play, and that was just I was just inspired. Someone had mentioned, I had friends talking about cyberpunk, and then I have a friend who is doing poetry, and I thought about doing the two together, and so I gave myself a challenge. I was like, let's see if I can write 30 poems in 7 days. And so I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And then all just on the cyberpunk theme, and then I tried self-publishing on Amazon to see what the process and experience is like. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What is the response that you got for the both of your books?
Both have been really good. People are really enjoying they so far for Arc City Stories. People keep saying, they do want a sequel, and they do mention that it's good for beginners who haven't really read a lot of cyberpunk. If you want to learn what the genre is like or get interested, then it's a really good book to start with. And also one lovely author said that they were reading and enjoying the stories so much that they while they were on the train, they almost missed their stop. So they had to, I think they missed it, or they almost missed their stop. But so it's just having that is really nice. People are enjoying that. And for the poetry book, yeah, people are liking it too. It's something different. It's I tried to make the text inside a little bit interesting, so it's not just plain, poetry, same writing all the time. It's got I'm trying to find a good example. Like there's one poem where it's almost like a face, the shape of a face.
Yeah.
So I try to do that with the poetry, make it a little more artistic, a little more interesting. So
okay, the phrase and the words that the sentences that you framed are connected.
Yes, it's all connected, and it's all matches and the symbolism.
Okay, only faces or all other symbols which matches with the poem?
Yes, whatever matches with the poem. There was another one. Let's see if I can I did find it quickly. So, for example, there's in one poem, I say, I can see my toes wiggle. And if I put the G lower, it kind of looks like little toes. I don't know if you can see. So it kind of looks like little toes wiggling.
Yeah.
So then I'll do things like that, just changing the words a little, making little patterns.
Okay. So this is a new way of expressing your poems.
A little bit, yes. I was told to make them interesting. An editor gave me really good advice, and I was like, okay, I'll think of different ways to make it a little more exciting. So
what kind of poems you write?
In my day-to-day, it'll be random, anything that comes to mind. Usually I enjoy writing about nature, anything that I see in the world, or plant life, or things that I think maybe people don't notice the connections all the time. And I'll try and just make combinations. Whatever pops in my head on that moment, whatever the emotion is. So.
About nature and about human beings too.
Yes, but human beings, how we experience the world, usually more through our five senses. I'll try to incorporate sound and sight and touch into the writing so that there's a lot more experience.
So you're a very good observer. You have very good observation power.
Thank you. I try to see little things in life. Maybe my favorite is if going walking and then you see the trees and then the different colors and the leaves, or maybe the artist side of me likes to look at the different flowers, the different shapes, everything, how it all connects, maybe in the buildings, or or just the people going by. Do they notice? Don't they notice? It's interesting sometimes to watch the world. You learn a lot.
You get inspired just by seeing it, or for inspiration you go to nature?
It can be anything. My inspiration comes from everywhere. Usually, I'm more of a visual person, so if I'm watching a movie, it might be something small from a movie. It's never one place. It'll always be, I'll be looking at pictures, watching a movie, maybe go for a walk, and then it'll just all combine in my head, and I'll start, as I said, I'll start looking for patterns between things, and if anything connects, I'll write a story about it, or have fun with it. Try to see if I can come up with something new.
So what is the unique thing that you have in yourself, and that you didn't observe in any other poet or any other author?
Challenging question. I'm not sure. I think in a way we're all very similar and unique at the same time. We all have our styles, I suppose. I think from my background, my experiences might be different. As I said, I've got such an international background, and so a lot of everything's cultures, everything, religions, different, everything is all mixed in my family. So I draw from many different things, and I think sometimes, at least for me, when I'm talking to other writers, one thing can be that for some writers, especially if they've lived in one place for a long time, then that'll be a big difference. For me, I don't have to necessarily I still have to research a lot of things, make sure everything's accurate, but I have a lot of background that I can draw from, a lot of first-hand experiences that maybe other writers or other poets don't necessarily. They have to rely more on virtual experiences and their internet research or talking to other people.
So you said you are more into visuals, and you observe visuals, just pictures and the videos, and you just write your poems. Are you good in writing, expressing your observations through words by seeing the pictures, the visuals?
I try. It's difficult because when I've noticed something actually recently, that sometimes when it's playing like a movie in my head, it's so very crisp, so very clear. Even when I'm drawing, everything it's crisp, it's clear, I know exactly what's supposed to happen. But when I'm writing, I get so lost in everything that has to happen because the words have to be accurate, the grammar, the punctuation. I sort of lose a little bit. If I'm too focused on editing while I write, I'll lose a little bit of that emotion. And I have to go back and I have to add it in later on. I have to really bring it out. It'll take a lot of editing, a lot of rereading, and finding that moment again. I use music as a way to really capture a moment, an emotion. If I'm writing a certain particular scene, then I'll attach a piece of music to that scene. So then when I have to write it again, and I need that emotion that I was feeling when I was writing it the first time, then I'll listen to the song, and I'll try and get that emotion back and try and write the scene the next time, instead of maybe being more technical or just trying to write whatever's in my head, then I'll try to add in more emotion, more connection, as much as I possibly can, hoping that it'll come through even more for the readers. So, although I have had one challenge though with the sci-fi fantasy that I'm still editing and writing, my character is struggles with emotion. So I have to sometimes write an emotional scene with a character that can't really be emotional, and it's horribly difficult. It was a bit too challenging actually, but it's a good way. It's a good way to learn. How do people who then maybe they experience all the emotions but they don't always know how to show, how do then they portray emotion in a certain scene?
What is the quality that you feel that is the best in you?
In me?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess one thing about me that I do a lot is I care very much. If I'm doing anything or working with anyone, I care a lot. So maybe that's one thing.
So what is the best compliment that you got for your writing?
For my writing, my goodness. I think I can't single one out, but I just, when people enjoy it, when they love, I think what like one writer, I think for my poetry, when they talked about sometimes people don't always enjoy poetry so much, or especially cyberpunk poetry is it's quite niche. There's a very small market, and if someone reads it and they really just enjoy, and I read that in the reviews, then it makes me really happy, because then I feel like, okay, I've reached someone that, maybe they wouldn't have enjoyed poetry so much before, or they weren't really into it, but they read the book, they tried it out, and they did enjoy it. I think one person actually said that I've completely forgot. I'd written it on Twitter. I'd written it everywhere else that it was a cyberpunk poetry book, but I completely forgot to write it on Amazon where the book was. So the person bought the book thinking they're getting a cyberpunk book, and they got poetry, and I felt so horrible when I realized I completely forgot. Rookie mistake. But then they left a really lovely review that they actually still enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, yay! If you could still enjoy it, then I'm happy. But yeah, I changed it. It now says it's a poetry book. But you live and learn. So that was a really sweet compliment.
So, what are the genres that you wanted to write that you didn't wrote?
Other genres? Oh, every genre that I haven't written yet, I want to write. I'm hoping to try each genre, as many as I possibly can, and then that way find the one that I enjoy the most, and then continue with that one. So far, it's been sci-fi fantasy. For some reason, I'm just drawn to it when I'm writing. It ends up that way. I'm working on an anthology now with a bunch of, honestly, incredible writers, and we're working on it's very secret at the moment, but we're working on a project I'm really excited about, so I can't wait for people to see and to show them what we've been working on, because, yeah, it's exciting. The stories are really, really good. I can't say anything, but it's really, really good. So hopefully when it comes out, then I can share with everyone once we've got it published. But yeah, but I'm scared of horror, I'm scared of thriller, but I do still want to try and write it. I like to get out of my comfort zones and see if I'm capable of it, to be a multi-genre author. I don't want to get stuck in one avenue or one route, and then maybe I've missed out on something else.
So you express to impress, or you express because you want to express?
Oh no, I express out of the passion for it. It's a joy for it. If something comes from it, great. If nothing happens, not a problem. It's just a passion. I mean, it's not actually my background. My background is I have a bachelor's in theology and religious studies. So it's not my background at all. But once I started and I just realized how much I loved it, I haven't been able to stop since.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all. Thank you. Sorry, I've been going off, but what may I ask? What made you decide to do YouTube interviews? Because it's really cool.
So I'm like you. I have passion. I have, I wake up in the morning and I wanted to do something that makes me feel happy, that makes me feel, to feel like alive. And I feel if I do, after completion of this interview, I feel like I, I I ate something, some food which I love. So I feel very, very good. So I just started it. I don't know. It is going like very far. Like today, I got a mail from YouTube saying that all my videos got watched by viewers, and it is the watch time is like 38,750 minutes.
Wow! Wow! Oh my goodness! Oh, that's amazing! You're doing phenomenal. Like I saw it. It's just videos, and so many followers and everything. It's really fantastic. So great! That's super. And that you love it. Oh, that's so good.
I think what you said is 100% I agree. I believe the same. Whatever comes in your mind, you will write, right? Whatever comes in my mind, I will do that. So that is what made me to, get maybe 38. I never thought that I will become successful or I'll get, I never thought that, I will get at least 100 views or 100 minutes watch time. So this is then I understood that when you do something that you love, automatically everything is just is a result for what you do. So we have to do what we love and what makes us to feel happy, right?
Agreed. Oh, and I wish you even more happiness and success. Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Oh, that's wonderful.
So, do you have anything to say about your books and about yourself and about anything to the world who watches this video?
Oh, basically, yeah, just if you're interested, if you want to go on a ride and see what's going on in my crazy mind, definitely enjoy one of these books. Definitely check out Arc City Stories. Again, you'll love them. Everyone worked really hard on it. And my cyberpunk is a bit of fun in between if you want a quick read. And also I think one thing I would say is I know the whole world is going through so much right now. And honestly, I hope and pray that everyone just keeps healthy, keeps safe as much as possible, and just continues to share as much of love and as passion as they can with the rest of the world, even in the darkest times, because that's when you get through. Like, just keep going, and then hopefully 2021 will be an even better year, and we can all get some relief and enjoy some more. So,
We hope. And because of connecting with 4 countries, I think you have different observations and different perspectives in your perspective. Maybe that is why the reason you are more deep into the studies. I think I can see that in your eyes when you are speaking. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Everything where I don't have family in the world, I have friends, or I try to make friends, and I know how much everything affects them when it does. So it's very important that the world stays at peace, because I'm always worried for someone somewhere in the world. I'm like, please just let there be peace, let them be okay. Because our world is becoming more global. The virtual worlds are allowing for that, at least, and it's good. People can connect more, people can care more about one another, hopefully, and hopefully grow together and become better. So what more can anyone ask for? Really.
So I want you to continue continue doing what you love, and keep inspiring people. Do express what exactly that you want to express. Only I think the real things creates impact in the world.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you, and I will take your advice. I will do.
Yeah. So at last, do you have anything to say about my video series? Have you watched any previous videos of mine?
Yes, I love them. They're so unique and so different. I caught there were two writers. I caught P.L. Stewart, who I follow, and his was really lovely. And it was so nice to see the author and see them happy and talking about what they love. And I think another one was the UK archaeologist that you did, Benjamin Cross. I didn't know about him or anything about him, but when I watched it, I became so interested and so fascinated. Also because the one project that I'm working on, it has something to do with archaeology, and I know nothing about it. So when I saw him talking, I was like, oh my goodness, maybe I can learn something. Hopefully get it a little bit more accurate. So, because you try, when you're a little author like me, and you don't have like big followings where the people can be like, oh, this person, help me out, or when you ask people who are more qualified to talk about a topic, you're like, oh, please help. They're like, not everyone has all the time, but so when I get to hear from some author who has that background, I'm like, yay, I can learn, maybe get it accurate. So that's wonderful. Your videos are really wonderful, and please keep going and enjoy. And I really wish you the very best. And thank you again so much for this opportunity. It was wonderful to speak with you.
I want you to continue doing what you love, and 100% I'm sure your books are going to reach everywhere
Thank
in the
you.
world.
Appreciate it.
So at last, can I put this video on my YouTube channel and on my social media and on internet with your permission?
Of course, yes, you may. Maybe so.
Thank you. Thank you so much again for giving your valuable time.
And you too. Oh my goodness, I hope you get some sleep. So, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.